Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez.
And I'm Kevin Friel. We'd like to remind you right at the top that the meetings we cover are available on demand at the town's website. Log on at www.town.barnstable.ma.us. Well, the federal government in 2010 will conduct a new census, the official measure of our nation's population. Earlier today, Nick sat down with local census office manager Barry Applebaum and assistant manager for quality assurance John Follis to talk about the census, the preparations that are underway, and the numerous temporary jobs that the census office is offering to our local residents.
And today I'm joined by Barry Applebaum, the local census office manager, and also John Follis, the assistant manager for quality assurance here at the local U.S. Census Office. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on Barnstable today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
It's certainly our pleasure. Now, there's some actually pretty exciting news to talk about in terms of becoming a U.S. Census worker, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But first, if you could, I'd like to hear a little history about the U.S. Census. This has been around for a long, long time and instituted by the Constitution.
Yeah, actually it's been around since 1790. It's being conducted every 10 years by mandate, by federal mandate. And it's very important both to it establishes the representation. Right at the moment we're in a possibly losing one or two positions in the House of Representatives in Massachusetts. So it's real important that we get the right number of people, get all the people counted correctly the first time. And that's the effort of the Census Bureau across the nation, and especially the ones we have here in Hyannis, which covers the Cape and the islands.
Sure. Now, I seized on what you said before, that we might be losing a seat or two in the U.S. House of Representatives. The data collected by the U.S. Census is clearly much more than just a pure measure of population. Can you talk a little bit about what exactly that data informs, including congressional representation?
Well, it weighted a lot of federal funds. Actually, $400 billion annually is being distributed across the country, and they use the census data to distribute that money. It goes to first responders, it goes to hospitals, it goes to schools, it goes to a lot of individual places and a lot of organizations. And so it's important not only that we get the mandate counted correctly, it will kind of set the tone for the next 10 years until another census is taken.
Can we talk a little bit about maybe the challenges of specifically getting census numbers here on the Cape and Islands? Because obviously there's plenty of full-time residents, but there's also many absentee landlords, many people who have vacation homes here. Does that complicate things at all, or not really?
It really does. It makes our job much more difficult rather than being in a small city where everybody seems to know each other. Our area is spread out, and like you said, it contains a lot of vacation homes and absentee people. We have a whole area, which is the Upper Cape, from Chatham up in the islands, both Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard, where they're not going to send a census form out to. It's not a mail out. They're not going to do that. That's called update numerate. We're actually going to have to visit these homes and have to make multiple visits to these homes to get the right kind of data. In this area, down in Hyannis and Yarmouth and Falmouth and Sandwich, they'll do a mail out, but only 6 out of every 10 actually respond to that. So that means 4 out of every 10 we have those homes we have to go visit, as well as all the group homes. So it's a major job requiring lots of people doing, and a lot of support for staff supporting those people.
Well, you of course set me up perfectly for the next question. It seems like it's going to take a lot of people to do this, and I only count 2 of you here. So how do we proceed? I understand that the local census office is looking to create a potentially quite a substantial workforce.
Yeah, I mean, our recruiting goal is fantastic. Our recruiting goal is actually over 9,000 applicants. We're trying to do that. For that vein, and what we already have 22 recruiting assistants out in the fields along the islands and up along the Cape, who's going to help us recruit that. They're out there promoting the census and actually being able to do there's a test that they have to do do the testing there. But it's a matter of recruiting all these folks. We're getting support, and there's advertising going in newspapers, and we've had support like yourselves, and to get the word out and to give this opportunity. We feel that it's a great opportunity for people who are retired, or people who would like a second job, or people who are out of work. The government does providing all these jobs. They're on a temporary basis but there are programs going on through August, so it's a great opportunity for a lot of people, I think, to offer them jobs, and they start anywhere from $12 to $19 an hour. And if you work in the field, you actually get paid from the time you leave your house until your time of return. The numerous that actually go to visit the homes will get paid those levels. So it's a great job, and we have a real good privilege of being able to offer these jobs. And there's an 800 number that they can call, 866 number, and as well as the website they can go on and look for practice tests, for example.
Certainly, and do make sure that you stay with us until the end of the program today, where we will have all of that information available if you're interested in becoming a temporary census worker. Now, let's just talk very quickly about what some of these jobs are going to consist of. I know that, Barry, you touched on it briefly, but John, talk a little bit more specifically about what some of these jobs are and what people will actually have to do.
The bulk of the jobs will be field jobs. Those will be, as Barry mentioned, the enumerators, where they go house to house and inquire about the folks that live there. And those jobs will be starting principally in the March timeframe. The actual census mail out, mail back cards will be sent out in mid-March, and so we will then be in the field late March into starting in mid-April to do these follow-ups. And there are two phases to it. One is sending the crews out, and that's where we're looking at the 1,500 people or so for working for about 8 weeks or thereabouts. And then they will make contacts, and then my operation, for instance, in quality assurance, will come back around and do a random sampling just to make sure the data was properly collected.
Very good. And go ahead, Barry.
In addition to that, we obviously need a great support staff supporting all these people in the field. So right now we're in the process of hiring supervisors and clerical help, all to do the data entry and to process the timesheets and that. So we have a significant operation of 80 to 100 people who will be working 6 days a week, starting very quickly. Matter of fact, starting today. Over at the Hyannis office, supporting all these and getting the logistics of getting all the paper back and forth and all the timesheets and all the data collected from the census back and put into the system.
Now, very good. Before I let you go, gentlemen, I'm wondering if there's any specific types of people that you're looking for to apply for these jobs.
Well, particularly in the area around Hyannis, we're looking for some bilingual folks who can assist us in the Brazilian communities and in the Russian communities. Much better to have folks that speak their own language, ask them information on the census. And likewise, when we go out in the rest of the Cape, we tend to hire folks right in a community. For instance, I live in West Harwich, and so we will hire people in the Harwich area to do the enumeration or the door-to-door gathering of information. And that's what we really try to do.
It's really neighbors counting neighbors. So we want people in the neighborhoods that are familiar with the neighborhoods, so it's across all the Cape and the islands.
For more information on becoming a census worker, call 866-861-2010 or visit www.2010censusjobs.gov. We'll show you that information again at the end of the program.
There's just one meeting taking place this holiday week. The Zoning Board of Appeals meets Wednesday, December 30th at 7 p.m. in the Town Hall hearing room.
Well, that's all the time we have for now. For Kevin Friel, I'm Nick Cortez. We'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.